Okay, now is my screen visible?
Yes, Prabhu, it is.
Okay. So today we are going to see nectar of instruction, sloka number 2. Okay. So let's start with the sloka. Okay. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasanga cha lalyam cha shadviddhir bhaktir vinashyati. Okay. So shad. So here you can see shadbhir. Okay. Means these 6 things. Bhaktir vinashyati. Bhaktir Vinashati means it will destroy your devotion. So what I was telling, that if these 6 things you are not following, that then they will destroy your bhakti, okay, your devotional life. So it is said that these 6 things which we are going to discuss, these are very important things, okay. And if you are not following these things, then your bhakti will be destroyed, your devotion will be destroyed. So what are those 6 things? Atya ahara. Atya ahara means ati ahara. Ati ahara means ati ahar. So you see, ahar means actually one meaning is uh, bhojan, or the food which we are taking. Okay, but if you see the previous sloka, we have read this 2 times, 2 or 3 times. Okay, we have read in the little bit in the Vacho Vegam. Actually, that is not concerned with that, but Jihva Vegam and Udar Vegam, these two we are concerned with Ati Ahar. Okay, so then why it is repeated here? So it doesn't have the same meaning here. Ati Ahar means doesn't only have too much overeating, it also means too much collecting. Okay, collecting in the terms of money or any valuable things can be there. So that is the meaning of atyahar. So first thing we should avoid is atyahar, collecting too much. Second is prayasascha, means prayas or endeavor. Okay, too much endeavor for materialistic things we should avoid. Okay, because actually what we have read in Bhagavad Gita is we are not this body, actually we are the soul, and this body is our temporary place. Maybe in the next life we'll have the next body. Okay, so too much endeavor with this body to accumulate so much things for this body is actually the waste thing. Okay, just like you are going to rent a house, and at that house maybe you are renting for maybe 1 month, and in for that duration, if you are accumulating too many things, all the machines and all, you are accumulating big things, you are accumulating everything which is good, which you may think that good for the material life, you are accumulating, and after 1 month you have to leave that house, and there is no connection with that house. Okay, then there is no meaning of that accumulation. Okay, so too much endeavor to accumulate too many material things or atyahar, too much endeavor to do atyahar is also, if you are engaged in that engaging and you are becoming too much busy, then that will also destroy your bhakti. Okay, so too much prayas or endeavor to do atyahar is also dangerous. So that is the second thing. And third is prajalpa. Okay, prajalpa is um, speaking non-Krishna conscious thing, or speaking the things which are not related to Krishna. Okay, so that is called prajalpa. Or engaging in reading too many newspaper or too many news. Okay, or discussion of the cricket, football, these things. Okay, whatever which is not related to our spiritual life, if you are speaking that thing, that is just a noise. Okay, not speaking, just a noise. Okay, so that thing is called prajalpa. Then the fourth one is niyamagraha. Niyamagraha means niyam is the rules and agra has two meanings. So when we'll read the sloka, then we'll understand. Niyamagraha means not following the rules and regulation, or following the rules and regulation just for the sake of following. Okay, just we have to follow some rules and regulation, that's why we are following. That is the meaning of niyamagra. So following the rules and regulation, regulatory principle, like we have to chant 16 round, if we are following the principle just so, okay, let's finish because we have to chant, we have to do we have to finish this regulative principle just for the sake of following, if we are doing that, is also very detrimental for our bhakti. So that is the fourth principle. Fifth principle is janasanga. Janasanga means jan means the the non Krishna conscious person or the people who are not Krishna conscious, and Sangha is association. So associating with people who are not Krishna conscious is very detrimental for our devotional life, because we will get influenced by their mindset. Okay, so that's why the Jana Sangha or associating with the worldly minded people or the materialistic people we should avoid. And last is lalyam. Lalyam is greed. Okay, so greed also we should avoid. So these are the six principles or things we should avoid. So basically, this sloka tells about the don'ts we should follow. The don'ts. So for everything, if you go to a doctor, you are if you are sick, you go to a doctor and doctor gives you some medicine. Along with that medicine, he gives some advice. Okay, you are having cough cold. Okay, don't go out in the evening time when there is too much cold. Okay, when you are going out, you should not, and in the home you should not drink cold water, something. Okay, so those things also he gives. What is those things? They are like the things you should not do. Okay, those are the don'ts. So that is equally important than the medicine. If you're eating the medicine and also going out in the cold, okay, you're drinking cold water, you're taking medicine also, then there is no effect of the medicine. You will continue suffering from the cold. Okay, so that thing is there. So both things are important. The medicine is also important, and the don'ts or the rules we should follow, that is also important. So this principle, the nectar of instruction, sloka number 2, says the don'ts, what we should not do. Okay, and the third sloka will tell what we should do. Okay, so do's and don'ts. So these are two things. So before speaking the do's, Srila Rup Goswami is speaking about the don'ts. So that's why these don'ts are more important than do's. Okay. So that thing is there. So these six things we should avoid. These things are very detrimental for our devotional life. So translation, once devotional service is spoiled when it becomes too much entangled in following six activities. First, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. So eating more than necessary, we have seen in the Udar Vegam, okay, and collecting more funds than required. Whatever is required, if you're collecting more than that, then that is detrimental. Then over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Okay, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptures, rules, and regulation only for the sake of following them, or not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Fifth, associating with the worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And sixth, being greedy for mundane achievements. Okay, so these are the six things. Okay, so can anyone read this first? Who will read today? Priyanka Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Am I audible?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Uh, Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. Since all conditioned living beings are under the control of the Lord's third energy, this material world is designed so that one is obliged to work. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three primary energies or potencies. The first is called Antaranga Shakti or the internal potency. The second is called Tathastha Shakti or the marginal potency. The third is called Bahiranga Shakti or the external potency. The living entities constitute the marginal potency and they are situated between the internal and external potencies. Being subordinate or external servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Jivatmas or atomic living entities must remain under the control of either the internal or external potency. When they are under the control of the internal potency, they display their natural constitutional activity, namely constant engagement in the devotional service of the Lord. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.13.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So a very important line you can see here. This is the line. Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. Okay. So can anyone tell what you means what you understand by this line? The human life is meant for the plain living and high thinking. So what is the meaning of plain living? Can we discuss? What is the meaning of plain living? Anyone can tell.
Having things only which are essential or
Having things which are essential.
essential, not accumulating too many things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. And high thinking. What is the meaning of high thinking?
Self-realization.
I mean, simple living, Prabhuji, like always think about Krishna, that's all. Not too much of desires.
Mhm.
Whatever, like with the same thing.
Staying
Yes.
within our limited means.
Okay. So why Prabhupada is starting with simple living and high thinking? Because the principles which are discussed, so in this sloka are also associated with that, that our life should be simple and our thinking should be high. Okay. So that is very important for our living. We have got this material body. Okay. And if we have this material body, we cannot say that we will do only spiritual thing, we won't do any material thing. Okay. So when we have this body, and we have to maintain this body, we have to work, we have to eat something, we have to maintain this body, we have to maintain this body so that it doesn't fall sick. Okay. And we can do our sadhana, we can do our self realization things. Okay. So we have to maintain our body, we have to earn something, we have to maintain, we have to eat something. So for these things, we have to maintain our body, we have given this body. Okay. So when we go out and start working, then there should be a fine line. Okay. Actually, we all have to work. Okay. We all have to work to maintain this body. But when we start working this body, maintaining this body, when we start working, we forget the line. Okay. The line, if you cross that line, then we will be we will be becoming materialistic people. We are forgetting our like spiritual life. Okay. So we should draw a line in our life so that we don't cross that line. Okay. And we keep ourselves in the spiritual platform only. Material platform, whatever is necessary, the minimum necessity that we can maintain, we should maintain that. And that simply means that we should not be endeavoring or accumulating too many things or big things. Okay. So these six principles says those things only. So the plain living, so these six principles describes about the plain living. Okay. So our living should be plain, or very basic minimal living should be there, and our thinking should be very high. Okay. So otherwise, if we don't draw a line, then what will happen? Our plain level will become a very fabulous living. Okay. So whatever we are seeing in today's rampant this material world, people are like running after everything. Okay. Running means they are just they want to accumulate. Okay. This person is accumulating, I will also accumulate. This person is a millionaire, I will also become millionaire. This person is having car, I will also having car. Our this person is having this much degree. Okay, I am not having degree, less degree I am having. Let's endeavor more and take more degrees so that I can compare myself with him. Okay, this person is singing very nicely, I will also learn to sing so that I can sing more than him. Okay. So this type of competitions will start having with the materialistic people. See, the materialistic people, they have different goal. Okay, they have different goal, what they want to achieve, they know that thing. Okay. And as a spiritual person, we should also know our goal. Okay. Our goal is different than the materialistic people. Materialistic people, they want to become millionaire, billionaire. They don't have the goal of plain living. Okay. Our goal is different. We don't want the the living standard like that. Okay. What we want is plain living, but always remembering Krishna. Okay. Okay, if we start engaging ourselves with competition with them, okay, we compete with them, then they work like 12 hours, 14 hours. We'll start working also like 12 hours, 14 hours, and we don't have any time for self-realization. We will become like a donkey, okay, who is endeavoring too much to accumulate materialistic thing. At the end of life, will become too much attached to the materialistic thing. Next life, those things we won't have access also. Okay, so that thing is the thing. That is the thing. So actually, the things which materialistic people are acquiring, that is just like they are acquiring nothing. Okay, so like that. So maybe it seems when we are not learned, when we don't learn these shastras, these slokas, that time we may think, or when we have association with those kind of people, that time we may think that, oh, we don't have anything, that person is having so many things. Okay, we will find some people will be there in your locality, in your area, or in your family, though will be very much accomplished materially. Okay, and it is natural when we don't read the Shastra, when we don't read this books, and we don't have the kind of association, devotee association. It is natural to get influenced by those the achievements, the materialistic achievements. So, but the thing is, their goal is different. Okay, their goal is different because they are materially, they want to materially achieve something, so their goal is different. But our goal is something different. Our goal is not to become a material very advanced. Our goal is just to remain very simple and humble, and always remember Krishna always, and become happy, like that. See, the materialistic people, they will do so many things to become happy. Okay, but they won't have that happiness, because the material thing cannot provide the happiness only. Okay, so that thing is there. Okay, so that thing is there. So that is the meaning of simple living and high thinking. So simple living means the things which are absolutely necessary to live, okay, that we should have, and not that much like very high and expensive things which require too much endeavor. Okay, so we should not run about those things. Okay, but our thinking should be high, means we should always endeavor to remember Krishna 24/7 hours. 24/7 hours we should train ourselves so that we remember Krishna 24/7 and never forget him. So that should be the thinking principle, that we should keep our daily activity so much so that we have enough time to remember Krishna. We don't make ourselves too much busy, so that we don't keep Krishna as our priority. Okay, our materialistic things should not become our priority. Krishna should become our priority. So whatever we in our daily life, what we are making other thing or materialistic thing as our priority. Okay, if that thing is there, the first principle, that is atyahar, okay, it will destroy our bhakti. One person who doesn't follow, doesn't draw a line, means how much we should earn, how much time we should means give in the earning. Okay, so that will destroy other too much greed for earning, too much greed for name and fame. Okay, those things will destroy the bhakti. Okay, so that thing is the meaning of the first line, that is human life is meant for the plain living and high thinking. Very important line. We should keep this line in our mind, that our life is meant for simple living. Our living should not, our living standards should not be too much high. Okay, otherwise there is no limit of the living standard, there is no limit of earning money, there is no limit of earning fame. There is no, so you cannot, this is like a fire, okay? And you cannot stop the fire. So it is like that, a big fire, and you are putting more and more when you are earning. This the earning, the fire is like, earning is like a fire, okay? And when you are earning, it is like putting more ghee on the fire, okay? And the ghee will burn the fire, intensity of fire. It will increase the intensity of fire more and more. More you are earning, more you are putting ghee. It is not going to end. Okay, there is no limit only. So it is like that. The most what the most materially advanced person, whoever you want to think. Okay, you think that person will be always busy in maintaining that status, or working more and more so that they can increase their wealth more and more. Actually, They may be materially so much advanced that they do not need to work also. But actually they are, they will be working more. Okay, so that thing is there. So there is no end of how much you can earn, how much you can maintain, how much your living standard can become. Okay, but the thing is, our living, whatever Shastra says that our living should be very basic. Okay, we should not be too much endeavoring for those things. Okay, so that principle will be discussed in today's sloka. That's why this but Prabhupada is starting with a very powerful line, that is, human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. So we should not waste our human life. Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. That is the meaning of, that is the aim of the human form of life. So that we keep our basic standard very low, and we should focus on our sadhana, so that this human form of life we are not going to waste. Okay. So that thing is there. Then two things are being discussed here, that Krishna has two types of Shakti. Okay. That is, one is um, one is Antaranga Shakti, and second is the Bahiranga Shakti. Okay. So two types of Shakti is there, Antaranga Shakti and Bahiranga Shakti. So Antaranga Shakti is internal potency of Krishna, the higher nature, the spiritual nature. Okay. And Bahiranga is the, Bahiranga means outward, or you can say lower, or the um, um, external potency. Bahiranga means external potency. So internal potency, Antaranga Shakti, and Bahiranga Shakti is the external potency. So Antaranga Shakti is there, the spiritual nature, and Bahiranga Shakti is the material nature. Okay. And in between comes the Jiva. Jiva is called Tatashta Shakti. Tatashta means in the middle. Okay. So Jiva is in the middle. So imagine you are in a situation where you have two doors. Okay, one door is on this side, one door is on this side. So it is like that. So Jiva has two options. Either they can choose to be with Krishna and the spiritual nature of Krishna, or they can choose uh, to be with the external nature, or the material energy. So whether you want to become materially advanced or become spiritually advanced, that option is there with you. So now also we have the option whether you want to become inclined with the material thing, or you want to incline with the spiritual things. Okay. So if our goal is to incline towards the spiritual thing, then we should follow these principles. Okay. So it is just simple like that. We have the two options. Whatever option we choose, we'll go in that direction. Okay. So whether we want to become spiritually advanced or we want to become materially advanced depends on our choice. Okay. So that thing is there. So we have read these things, and then again, if we go through the shloka, then so the person who is under this internal potency, or the who is under the spiritual nature of Krishna, are the people who are Mahatma, who are called Mahatma. And other side of is the people who are under the materialistic Sakti, or the external potency of Krishna, and those are called crippled minded person, or called Duratma. Okay. So two types of persons are also discussed. Two types of energies called Antaranga Shakti and Bahiranga Shakti. Antaranga is the spiritual nature and Bahiranga is the material nature. Okay. The persons are Tatashta Shakti, or the Jivas are the Tatashta Shakti. If they choose to be under the spiritual nature, they are called Mahatmas. Okay. And if they choose to be under the material nature, or the material Bahiranga Shakti, they are called crippled minded or Duratma. Okay. Mahatma, what is the nature of the Mahatma? Mahatmas are under the spiritual nature. So they always in contact with Krishna. They are always remembering Krishna 24/7. Their only goal of life is to achieve Krishna, love of Krishna. Okay. So that is the goal of the life of the Mahatmas who are under the internal potency. Okay. So I told the Jiva has two options. So the person who choose the Mahatma side, they will always remember Krishna. They will never forget Krishna. Okay. And the person who are under the material nature, they are called Duratma. They are running after the materialistic things. Okay. They are very passionate, and they have too much greed to accumulate too much money. Okay, too much bigger house, bigger money, bigger car, bigger degrees so that they can puff up. Okay, bigger position in their house or the society or the office anywhere. Okay, if you give a even a small place, if they have the some position in that place, they will be puffed up. Okay, so they will be working day and night for that. They don't have the time for their spiritual advancement. So those kinds of natures are of the people who are under the materialistic nature. Okay, so that is being discussed here in the Bhagavad Gita 9.13. Krishna describes Mahatmanas to Mahampartha Daivim Prakriti Mashatam Bhajante Ananya Manasho Jivatma Bhutadim Apyam Bhajanate Ananya Manasho Jivatma Bhutadim Apyam. Okay, so those people who are Mahatma, they will always remember Krishna. They never forget Krishna. So these main rules you should understand. There is only two rules. Okay, two rules, and based on those two rules, everything is all the slokas are compiled. Those two rules are: we should always 24/7 hours. We should remember Krishna. Remember Krishna doesn't mean that we should be always only thinking about Krishna. Remember Krishna means our consciousness should be always engaged in Krishna. Okay, our consciousness should be always engaged in Krishna. Just like if you're driving, okay, and you are going you are becoming or you're driving, there may be some sound, maybe there in this side, some sound maybe there in this side, but you never focus on those sides. You're driving, then your focus would be in the in the front. Okay, that you're driving, though you're hearing everything, but your focus would be in the front. So similarly, as a person who are spiritually minded, we may be in the material nature, we may be working, but our focus should always be in Krishna, always remembering Krishna, always thinking about Krishna, always working for Krishna. Okay, and never forget. So that is the secondary rule. So always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So these principles are the main principles. Okay, so based on that, these things are there. One more important part of the cripple-minded persons are being described in this purport. That is, the materialistic person, they work for sense enjoyment. Okay, whether they work for the self sense enjoyment or the personal sense enjoyment, or their bodily personal sense enjoyment, or one other another term Prabhupada use here, that is called extended sense realization, extended sense gratification. What is the meaning of extended sense gratification? Means they are not working for their sense gratification, but actually they are working for their maybe their ego, okay, to satisfy their ego, and that is called ism, 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 like nationalism, socialism, societism, okay, or something like that. Nationalism, socialism. So they are working for some society, okay, or they are working for some, maybe some nation, or maybe some social groups. Okay, so they are working for that. So they are saying that I'm doing good for the society, but actually they are also coming under the sense gratification only, and that is called the extended sense gratification. That those persons also come under the duratma, or the triple-minded person, or the person who are under the bahiranga sakti, or material energy of Krishna. Okay, so that is called nationalism, socialism. Okay, so we are working for our nation, we are working for our society, like that. But we are Krishna is not there. Okay, so like that, that type of sense gratification is also there. Yeah, Duratma. So Mahatma and Duratma, two words are there. So these purport describes that. So let's read now. Okay, so we'll read from here. Yeah, we'll read. We have Supraja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
According to nature's arrangement, living entities lower on a evolutionary scale do not eat or collect more than necessary. Consequently, in the animal kingdom, there is generally no economic problem or scarcity of necessities. If a bag of rice is placed in a public place, birds will come to eat a few grains and go away. A human being, however, will take away the whole bag. He will eat all his stomach can hold and then try to keep the rest in storage. According to scriptures, this collecting of more than necessary atyahara is prohibited. Now the entire world is suffering because of it. Shall I continue, Pramaj?
Okay, that same principles is being described. So this is the first one. That is called Atyahara. Very important. Why very important? Because we should draw a line that how much we need to accumulate, how much we need to earn um, so that we can live a simple life and we can focus on Krishna. Okay. Otherwise, if you are working for 10, 12 hour office, you are working for 8 hour, 1 hour, you are taking for going to the office, 1 hour, you are coming from the office, and then in the home also you are working for the office. Okay. And full day you are working for the office, no time for Krishna. If that condition is there, that is very dangerous condition. Why we are working so much? In this little bit working also will give you sufficient quantity of food, sufficient quantity of the food stuffs and the stuffs which are important for the simple living. But if you are working too much and accumulating, trying to accumulate too much, that will come under the Atyahara. One example Prabhupada is given in the purport that if one bag of rice, if you keep in the road, the birds will come, 10 birds will come and 10 birds will eat, and they will whatever is there, they will eat, and whatever they can eat, they will eat and they will fly. Another group of bird will come, another animals will come, they will eat and they will fly. So one bag of rice, if you keep in the road, it will satisfy many animals, many birds, many. But if one human sees that, okay, one person sees that, then he will take all the bag, he will keep all the bag in his home, okay, and he will only eat, and others won't be able to eat. So that is called the atyahara, accumulating too much, but that is actually not required. Okay, and if you are accumulating too much, so there are certain rules. Okay, like for the householders, you can accumulate whatever is required for simple things. It is not that we should not accumulate, we should not earn. But if earning is disturbing you in the spiritual life, then that accumulation should be avoided. We should be like um, not accumulating too much that is disturbing our mind, that is disturbing our consciousness, so that we cannot focus on Krishna. Okay, so that line we should draw. How much we need to earn. Okay, that earning which is not creating problem in our spiritual life, and we are able to focus Krishna sufficiently. If that thing is there, then it's okay. Otherwise, if you are earning, if you are accumulating too much, and if you are greed for accumulating too much, okay, then that is very detrimental. For householder, little bit of accumulation is they can accumulate, okay, but not in excess. If they are accumulating in excess, that will also become detrimental. But for a sannyasi or brahmachari, okay, who are um, who are totally dedicated for the temples, okay, they should work, but they should not accumulate for themselves anything, okay, anything for themselves. But if they are working for the temple, they are accumulating, they are collecting the donation. So donations shall be used for the service of temple. Okay, it is not, it should not become like that, that one donation has come and the brahmachari and sannyasi is taking iPhone, and they're utilizing the temple's money in the iPhone, and they're accumulating money for the family, they're sending money for the family. These things should not be there, okay, because if that thing is there, that will also come under the atyahara. The rules is to, for brahmana and sannyasi, they should not accumulate any money. For grihastha, they can accumulate, but the accumulation should not be too much excess. Okay, so that is the rules for accumulation. Other than that, even accumulating too much, so that is the accumulation for the karmis. Okay, Karmis. If the karmis are working too much, the karmis means materialistic people, they are working too much, then they enter into donkey culture. Donkey culture means donkey is working full day, full night, just a full day he will be working so that his master will give some grass. Okay, but the grass is available everywhere, but he is not ready to take the grass independently. He want to work under the master so that master will give some amount of food in the evening. So that is the donkey culture. Excess work for the sense gratification. Excess work for the sense gratification, not for the spiritual benefit. Excess work for the sense gratification. If you are working excess for Krishna, then that is good. Because working for Krishna, always Krishna is in their mind because they are working for Krishna. But if you are working for yourself and accumulating too much, then that is dangerous. Okay. So that is for um, um, the materialistic people. Even accumulating too much jnana, Jnani people, they try to accumulate too much gyan. They will read this much, that they this book, that book, this book, that book. Okay, they try to conclude who is God. Okay, that is also is very dangerous. Okay, that we should not do. We should not read even in the nectar of devotion. When you read, you will understand that we should not read too many books. Okay, whatever Prabhupada is given, that is also sufficient. If you read that book again and again, again and again, that will perfect your life. So actually, we don't need anything other than Prabhupada's books. Okay, so if you read those books, that is also sufficient to attain the jnana. The other part you can take as too much accumulating knowledge, too much accumulating karmic knowledge. Okay, like in one person is becoming too much expert in that field. Okay, too much expert in the field, too much expert, and he's reading too much in the field. He's publishing too many papers, and he's getting too many degrees. He want to perfect himself in that thing. That is also not good. Okay, so that knowledge also we should not accumulate too much. Too much means what? Material knowledge. Material knowledge also we should not accumulate too much. Okay. Then the again the next part is the siddhis, okay, or the ashtanga yogis. That also we should not follow. Okay, so these are in the verses. If you read the purport, it will say bhukti mukti siddhi kami. Okay, so bhukti is the karmis and bhukti, then mukti and siddhi. Okay, so mukti is the jnana yogis and siddhis are the ashtanga yogis. So these three things also we should avoid. So bhukti mukti siddhi kami. So we should not be endeavoring too much for those accumulation. We should keep our life very simple with one principle in our mind, that we should always, always, always remember Krishna. Okay, so that thing is there in the first part, that is atyahara.
Okay. Collecting and eating more than necessary also
And
causes.
so this is now the second one, that is called prayasa. So Mataji already started reading the prayasa part. So yes, Mataji can read. Other persons also can read. Otherwise, they will sleep. So Prasad Mataji, please give chance to other persons also.
Okay, Prabhuji, no problem. Yeah. If
Yeah.
anyone wants to, you can.
Yeah, everyone should read. So one by one you can read. I will tell the name. So Priyanka Mataji, you can read. You are first in the number.
Mataji
Collecting
is
and
already read, Prabhu.
yes,
Okay,
Prabhuji, I
Vaishnavi
read.
Mataji, you can read your second number. Or
Yes.
Smriti Mataji, Smriti Gupta. Smriti Gupta Mataji. You are here, Mataji, with us?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please read.
Okay, Prabhuji. Collecting and eating more than necessary also cause prayasa or unnecessary endeavor. By God's arrangement, anyone in any part of the world can live very peacefully. If he has some land and a milk cart, there is no need for man to move from one place to another to earn a livelihood. For one can produce food grains locally and get milk from cows. That can solve all economic problems. Fortunately, man has been given higher intelligence for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, other understanding of God, one's relationship with Him, and the ultimate goal of life, love of God. Unfortunately, so-called civilized man, not caring for God realization, utilizes intelligence to get more than necessary
and simply eats to satisfy the tongue. By God's arrangement, there is sufficient scope for the production of milk and grains for human beings all over the world. But instead of using their higher intelligence to cultivate God consciousness, so called intelligent men misuses their intelligence to produce many unnecessary and unwanted things. Thus, factories, slaughterhouses, brothels, and liquor shops are open. If people are advised not to collect too many goods, eat too much, or work unnecessarily to possess artificial amenities. They think they are being advised to return to a primitive way of life. Generally, people do not like to accept plain living and high thinking. That's their unfortunate position.
That's their unfortunate position. Prabhupada is writing unfortunate position. Okay, that is the unfortunate position that people do not want to accept the plain living. So much unfortunate position. We have got this human form of life, and we are capable of like realization of God. We have got all the facilities. Okay, but still, people are so unfortunate that they don't want to realize on. They don't want to accept the plain living. Why we should live a plain life? We are so much talented. Okay, we can earn lots of money if we work like a donkey. Okay, then why we should waste our life in plain living? What is there in plain living? Okay, we should have a donkey living. Okay, let's work full day, full night, and let's go to do a party. Okay, let's go to liquor shop. Okay, so these are the things. These are the things going on. What to do? But the Prabhupada is writing an unfortunate position. Unfortunate. Okay, so much unfortunate. So you see here, Prabhupada is writing very important line, but God's arrangement in any part of the world, you can get some piece of land and cow milk, sufficient for living. Okay. Earlier days, what our forefathers used to do. Okay. They have the land, they will cultivate the land, they have the cow, they will feed the cow, they will take their milk, they will have the milk, and whatever they grow, they can eat. Okay, so nicely healthy life they will live. There is no tension that okay, I have to earn this much, that much. They are growing, they are eating, they have the cow, they are drinking the milk. Okay. That was the position. No, the children are also very independent. They will also learn with their father. Okay, they will go to the to do their work in the field and whatever small businesses like they have established. Okay, they will learn from the very small only. There is no need of going to school and learn this language, that language, so that we become very perfect. Okay, the main thing is to become a lead a life, spiritually lead a life. Okay, earlier people, whenever they will wake up in the morning, they would have woke. Okay, they will start their day with some puja. Okay, like those things. So those things are have been forgotten by materialistic people. Okay, some people still doing, but they are misguided uh, of the many diversities of spirituality in India. Okay, so that thing is also there. So what we need is small piece of land and common. Simple living is there. Prabhupada is giving so much nice example, and that's why many farm cultures you have seen in ISKCON. Many farms are also being established. Okay, like. Like Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj is there. He has two farms in India. Okay, so and Shivram Swami Maharaj is there. He has also farms. Okay, so they are establishing the farm culture. Means farm culture. They have land. They have cow. They will and how to live with that. They're showing the world. Okay, so that is also possible if you have cow and if you have some piece of land and people are there. There Krishna is there in the center. So they will work. They will grow some food crops, they will eat that and they will devote themselves to the devotion. Okay. If you have not visited any farm community in India, which is there, Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj farms are in Gujarat, I think Nandgram, and in Andhra, it is there in Kurmagramam. Okay. So these two places are there. Of Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj, I know. So you can go and visit and see how the devotees are living a Krishna conscious life, a life of simple living and plain living and high thinking. Okay, with a land and some cows and devotee community. Okay, so you can see those things that, yourself, and it is quite possible. Okay, simple living, high thinking, some piece of land and cow milk. So that is what Prabhupada is telling. Okay, so that thing is there. So, and Prabhupada also writing, fortunately, here if you see, fortunately from here, a man has been given higher intelligence for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness or understanding of God. But where we are utilizing the intelligence, let's develop our society. Let's develop this kind of machine. Let's develop that kind of machine. But let's don't develop the culture. Okay. So if culture is not there and so much scientific advancement is there, the man or the humans won't be able to sustain that. They will utilize it in wrong way only. So the culture should be developed. Okay, so you see, man has been given higher intelligence for cultivation of Krishna consciousness or understanding of God, one's relationship with him, and the ultimate goal of life, love of God. Okay, but what we are utilizing higher intelligence there, everyone is of us is having higher intelligence, but we are utilizing those intelligence, you see. So goal of life, ultimate goal of life is love of God. Very nicely Prabhupada is written. The ultimate goal of life is love of God. If you are able to achieve this goal, then your life is successful. If you are not able to achieve this goal, then this life has no meaning. Okay. So that is so work minimum so that you can focus on your ultimate goal of life. Ultimate goal of life is love of God. The ultimate goal is not to earn too much or become a millionaire or billionaire or not to become a degree holder or PhD holder. Okay, so that we can puff up ourselves that we have so much achievement. Okay, you can be a silent person. You can be a person in the corner who is not so much advanced, but who are very simple, who are very not in the limelight, simple person, but so much advanced in Krishna consciousness and trying to achieve the ultimate goal of life, that is love of God. So that type of person we we should become. Okay. Otherwise, it is like the same thing. Generally, people do not like to accept plain living and high thinking. That is their unfortunate position. So that position we will be having. Okay. So that thing is there. Another thing is the another place it is described that lowest of the prayasa. Prayasa is too much endeavoring to accumulate the things or the atyara. Prayas is doing too much prayas or too much endeavor. If you want to accumulate too much money, you have to work also. Whole day you have to work. You have to think in that direction. Okay. So so that endeavor is called prayas. Okay. In the spiritual life also we have some prayas, like if people go to some yatra, tirth yatra. Okay, so our mindset should not be like we are going to yatra so that we can earn some punya, or we'll go to the yatra so that we can see that places. Okay, that thing is there, but if if you are going for some sense gratification or some material benefit, then that also will come under the priyasha. Okay, but if our aim is to go to yatra for the association of nice devotee who are purified devotee, so that we can get their association, or we are going to the places so that we can awaken our spiritual self. Okay, then that doesn't come under the prayasa. Okay, otherwise it will also come under the prayasa. Okay, and some people they also work too much. Okay, and they say we are working some, maybe you will find some in the devotees only, they will work too much and they will say we are devotees so that we can earn. It is not like that. You are taking, just by taking diksha or just by wearing a tilak or dhoti and kantimala, you cannot become a devotee. Okay, devotee means you have to devote yourself for the service of Krishna. Okay, devote yourself for the service of Guru. Then that is called the devotee. Okay, if you are not devoted to the service of your Guru, then that is not a devotee. Maybe you have any outfit. Maybe you are in the grihastha outfit, maybe you are in the sannyasi outfit, maybe anywhere. Okay, but if your mentality is not to serve Guru and Krishna, then that is something different than what is expected from. Okay, so that thing is there. So that is one of the prayasa. That the second principle is the prayasa. Okay, and at another place it is mentioned that lowest of all the prayasa, lowest of the all the prayasa is to prayasa for attaining the fame. Okay, the fame that will become famous. We'll do this so that we'll become famous. Okay. um, mm, so that is called the lowest. So we do something and, oh, you don't know me, I have done this. If this kind of mentality is there, then that is called the lowest kind of prayasa. Okay, so these things are there for the prayasa. Okay. So two things we have seen, the atyahara and endeavors for the atyahara, that is called prayasa. Okay. The third thing is prajalpa. So from here, you can read. Yeah, we'll read. Let's see. So Smriti Mataji has read. Kirti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Another impediment is prajalpa, unnecessarily talking. When we mix with a few friends, we immediately begin unnecessary talking, sounding just like cockcrowing tattoos. If we must talk, we should talk about the Krishna consciousness movement. Those outside of Krishna consciousness movement are interested in reading heaps of newspaper, magazine and novels, solving crossword puzzle and doing many other nonsensical things. In this fashion, people simply waste their valuable time and energy. In the Western country, old men retire from active life, play card, fish, watch television, and debate about unless socio-political
Useless.
scheme.
Useless
Oh,
socio-political.
useless social political scheme. All these and other frivolous activity are included in the Prajalpa category. Intelligent person interested in Krishna consciousness should never take part in such activity.
Okay. So this is Prajalpa. Prajalpa means unnecessary talking which is not connected to Krishna. So that is called Prajalpa. Anything which is not related to Krishna, that is called Prajalpa. Okay. Devotees, they only talk about the only one thing. And what that one thing is Krishna Katha, related to Krishna. Okay. So Krishna Katha, they speak about Krishna Katha. Okay. And what is that verse? Kathayanta Shimam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti Cha. Out of the 4 verses of 10th chapter, that is called Chatushloki Gita, one verse is Kathayanta Shimam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti Cha. They are devotees, what they are talking? What they are talking? They talk about only one thing, that is Krishna. Okay. If they are not talking about Krishna, they are talking something else that will come under the Prajalpa. Okay. So devotees, even if you see two devotees, they are meeting and they're talking, oh, you look so nice. You have your earring is so nice, your dress is so nice. Okay. You know that girl is doing this thing, that girl is doing that thing. Even devotees are meeting and doing these things, that will come under the Prajalpa. Okay. So that thing is there. So devotees, whatever is related to Krishna, if they are speaking about that, that is not Prajalpa. If they are doing Prajalpa, then that is very detrimental for the devotion. Okay. It is not easy to achieve the devotion. In the initial stage, we are very enthusiastic, then we do many things. Okay. We start chanting 16 rounds, we do these things, that thing, everything, whatever is recommended, we do. Okay. But over the time, we have to maintain it. Okay, and the rules and regulation what is given in the nectar of instructions are very important. If you don't follow these instructions, the bhakti is not going to grow. Okay, so we should not do prajalpa. What we should do is we should speak about only about Krishna. Okay, only about Krishna. So initial days we may try to implement these slowly and slowly. So like that, one day will come when we speak anything which is related to service of Krishna. My spiritual master, once one person was there, he came to that Guru Maharaj and spiritual master, and he was telling something else. Then Guru Maharaj told him that don't speak anything which is not related to Krishna. Don't make any other noise. Okay. So the thing which is related to Krishna is Krishna Katha. Other than that is noise, just a noise. So don't make any noise. Prabhupada is writing anything unnecessary talking, just like croaking of the toads. We have heard in the previous chapter that toads in the rainy season, the toads will be like croaking like anything. Okay, and the snakes will know that okay, the toad is here, and they will go and eat that toad. Okay, so unnecessary talking of the on the people or the prajalpa is just compared to croaking of the toads. Okay, so that thing is there. We should utilize the tongue. We should utilize our voice. We should utilize our intelligence in the service of Krishna. Okay. Then some examples are also given that Krishna conscious person, they do not utilize their time in reading the newspaper. Newspaper will one another means daily they have some news. Daily it will come and they will have some news, and people they're just reading. Okay, magazine. So much news there is no need. Okay, anything which is not related to Krishna, what benefit you are going to achieve? Remember, 1 year back, whatever news we are reading, and today, what is the meaning of those news today? Nothing. Okay, so that thing is there. Novels, unnecessary novel story. Okay, so seeing films. Okay, unnecessary wasting the time. Crossword, puzzles, Sudoku, those things. Okay, watching reels. Today's world, most of the time we spend on the mobile phone only. Okay, so that is also like unnecessary wasting of the time if you are not utilizing in the service of Krishna. Okay, so that also will come under the category of unnecessary talking or prachalpa. So that is the third one, that is prajalpa. We should speak only thing which is related to Krishna. Intelligent person, where intelligent person interested in Krishna consciousness should never take part in such activity. Intelligent person who are intelligent and who are interested in Krishna consciousness, who want to keep Krishna in their intelligence, should not take part in these things. Okay, Prabhupada is right. Always keep chanting. So that is the rule. Always remember Krishna. Keep chanting Krishna's name. Okay. Then the next one is the Janasangha, fourth one. Who will read? Let's see. Kirti Mataji. Vaishnavi Mataji, you have read?
No, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji, you can read. Then Lakshmi Mataji will read.
Yes. Janasangha refers to associating with persons not interested in Krishna consciousness. One should strictly avoid such association. Sri Narottama Dasa Thakur has therefore advised us to live only in association of Krishna conscious devotees, Bhakta Sana Vasa. One should always engage in the service of the Lord in the association of Lord's devotees. Association with those engaged in similar line of business is very conductive to advancement in that business. Consequently, materialistic persons form various associations and clubs to enhance their endeavors. For example, in the business world, we find such institutions as the Stock Exchange and Chamber of Commerce. Similarly, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna. This spiritual association offered by our ISKCON movement is increasing day by day. Many people from different parts of the world are joining this society to awaken their dormant Krishna consciousness.
So fourth principle is Jansangha. Associating with worldly minded people is called Jansangha. Okay. Jang is the common, Jana is the common people, and Sangha is the association. Okay. So we should avoid that association. Why? Because if we take the association of those people, we'll also become like that. Prabhupada is giving the example that so many kinds of society is being made. Okay. Some people who wanted to become perfect in stock exchange, they will join that society and they will talk about those things only. Okay, so when you go to a person who are interested in the stock market and they have the association, okay, they will talk about that only. Okay, that what is happening which stocks we should keep our money, we should stock which stock we should bring out our money. Okay, so that type of association they are making so that they can focus on their goal. Okay, similarly other also societies are there. Okay, some societies like women societies there. When they will meet, they will discuss about those problems of the women and how to solve the problems. Okay, different types of societies are there. So you will find many society in our society. Okay, so many societies you will find that so many societies are there. Okay, and for that purpose only ISKCON is being made, so that when devotees meet, they'll discuss about only about Krishna. It is not. It doesn't mean that devotees meet, they'll discuss something else. They will discuss something else. That what happens. We see so many people. They meet. Oh, how are you? How is your baby? Oh, you had the problem. What happened to that? Okay. Oh, that person was doing. So this type of problem. These things they will start discussing. Okay, that oh, you don't know my so mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is like this. So, the devotees will start talking like this. So that society, our society is not meant for these type of consciousness. Our society is only meant for Krishna consciousness. Society for Krishna consciousness. The name itself says that International Society for Krishna Consciousness. For Krishna consciousness. Okay. So you have come to this society, that means you want to become Krishna conscious. That's why you have come to this society. You have joined this society, you are doing this course, that means you want to become a Krishna conscious person. That's the aim. So that focus should be there, that we want to become Krishna conscious. That's why we have joined this society. Okay, we should not have any other intention that we will become a very um, very nice preacher will become. Okay, will become a very nice kirtaniya singer. Okay, will take very nice classes. Okay, this should not be our mood. Okay, our mood when we are in this movement should be to become Krishna conscious, to discuss the topics which is related to Krishna. Okay, other than that, if any other person is doing any other thing, we should leave that thing. That is called Janasanga. We should avoid that association, avoid the association of worldly minded people. Okay, so that's why the this society is being made. So Prabhupada writes here. Similarly, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, that is ISKCON, to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna. Similarly, if you see the ISKCON has today's world, ISKCON has become so a very big society. So you won't find every person is very nice Krishna conscious person. Okay, because some person may be in the starting phase, some person may be in the growing phase. Okay, so you won't find every person on the same level. Okay, so you have to find a person who is very pure devotee and associate with that devotee. Take the association of those devotee and grow in the devotion. Don't take the association of every other person, and identify who is a devotee by these principles. A person, you are going to that person, he is talking about the mundane things only. No Krishna Katha. That means you should avoid the association of that person. Okay. Our goal is to become Krishna conscious. That's why we are here in ISKCON. Okay. So try to take the association of those pure devotees. So many pure devotees still there in ISKCON. Okay. If you I'm not saying that every person is a very pure devotee. ISKCON means any person who has joined ISKCON, that means he is pure devotee. No, that is not there. Any person who is there is not pure devotee. We want to become pure devotee. Our aim is to become pure devotee. Okay. So that's why we should take the association of pure devotee. You take the association of any other person who you think that is a devotee, but actually he is not a devotee. He will talk you about the mundane things only, will divert your attention. You want to become a pure devotee, but now you have taken the association of wrong people. So that's why it is said that Janasanga we should avoid. Janasanga doesn't mean that only materialistic people we should avoid. Janasanga also means we should avoid the association of people who we think that he may be a devotee, but actually he is not a devotee. Okay, so that thing is there. Many people are joining. Prabhupada is writing also. Many people from different parts of the world are joining this society to awaken their dormant Krishna consciousness. So many persons are joining. They have dormant Krishna consciousness. Still, they have not become fully Krishna conscious. So we should avoid the association of those persons. Okay. And So try to discuss about Krishna. Then the dormant Krishna consciousness will awaken. Okay, so that is the Janasangha. This one is also very important. This paragraph, Lakshmi Mataji is going to read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Shri
Mataji.
Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, right in his Amrita commentary, that too much envious required knowledge on the part of mental regulators or right philosophy falls within the category of atyahar, collecting more than needed. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the envier of philosophy speculated to write volumes of books to drive philosophy, devoid of Krishna consciousness, is entirely
Futile.
defiled. The work of karmis who write volumes of economic development also falls within the category of atyahara. Similarly, those who have no desire for Krishna consciousness and who are simply interested in possessing more and more in material things, either in the shape of scientific knowledge or morally gain, are all included under the control of Atyahara.
Okay, so you see the last line. Similarly, those have no desire for Krishna consciousness, no desire of Krishna consciousness, nothing Krishna consciousness. Okay, they don't know even Krishna. They may be atheistic, they may be theistic, but they don't uh, know about Krishna. No desire for Krishna consciousness, and who are simply interested in possessing more and more material thing, either in the shape of scientific knowledge. So knowledge also in the form of material. Prabhupada is keeping under the material knowledge, also keeping in the materialistic thing or monetary gain. So either you accumulate too much money or you accumulate too much knowledge. Both will make you puff off. Okay, and those both are included in Atyahar. Okay, so whatever knowledge you have acquired till now, be satisfied with that. Okay, many people I see that they do MBBS, they do after some degree of PG, okay, or post graduation. After that, they do some super specialization, and then after that also they are not satisfied with that. They accumulate too much degrees, okay. So that kind of thing should not be there. We should be satisfied if we are able to earn whatever degrees we have. With that, we are able to earn. We should be satisfied with that, okay. And we should focus more on our Krishna consciousness. That is our primary important goal, okay. So that is the, so either knowledge or monetary gain. Both Prabhupada is writing under the category of Atyahar. Or you can see Anuvritti commentary of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj has given the Anuvritti commentary of Nectar of means Updeshamrita. Okay. So in that, from that, Prabhupada is quoting that even monetary, if you are accumulating too much money or you are accumulating too much degree, too much knowledge of materialistic things, that is also atyahar only. Okay. So I hope that thing is clear. We should not be running after the materialistic thing. We should not be running after too much material degrees. Okay. So that thing is there. Okay. Then we come to the niyama graha. So this is the part where we discuss about the niyama graha. So who is going to read next? Manjula Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Shall I
Krishna.
read from accepting from the
Yeah.
accepting some of the scriptural rules and regulations for immediate benefit as uh, utilitarians advocate is called Nityama Agraha, and neglecting the rules and regulations of the Shastras, which are meant for spiritual development, is called Niyama Agraha. The word Agraha means eagerness to accept, and Agraha means failure to accept. By the addition of either of these two words to the word Niyama, rules and regulations, the word Niyama Agraha is formed. Thus, Niyama Agraha has a twofold meaning that is understood according to the particular combination of words. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic advancement, yet they should very faithfully accept scriptural rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. They should strictly follow the regulative principles by avoiding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication.
Okay, so you see this is important, okay, from here. So this principle is called Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha has two meaning actually. If you know the Sandhi of the Sanskrit, okay, there it is the if two words are combined like Niyam and Agraha, both will combine, then Niyamagraha will happen. Okay, so Niyam Agraha or Niyam Agraha, both will combine with Agraha or Agraha, both will combine, then it will become Niyam Agraha only. Okay. So these two words are there. So either of these words you take, niyam agraha or niyam agraha you take. Okay. If you are taking niyam agraha, agraha means one akar is there in a. So that is called niyam agraha. If you are taking the name as that, that means the following the rules for the sake of the following. Okay. We are just following for the sake of following. We have to follow the rules. That's why we are following. Okay. So that we can have some sense gratification. Okay. So for that, if you're following, that is called niyam agraha. And second one is called niyam agraha. Niyam agraha. If you combine the niyam agraha, then it will become niyam agraha only. Okay. So that means that not following at all rules and regulations of the Shastra. Okay. So both words are saying different things, but both things should be avoided. Those both things fall under the category of don'ts only. Okay, that is following the rules and regulations for just for the sake of following, and not at all following the rules and regulations of the Shastra. Okay, then Prabhupada lines is important. So you see, those interested in Krishna consciousness. Who is interested in Krishna consciousness? Can anyone tell me? Who is interested in Krishna consciousness? Who among you is interested in Krishna consciousness?
Devotees,
So I can see the hand raised. One hand raised, only one person is interested in Krishna consciousness. Two. So actually every person who is in the class is interested in Krishna consciousness. Okay. So yes. So who is interested in Krishna consciousness? Us. So Prabhupada is writing for us. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic advancement. Our economic advancement. Okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, you learn this course, you learn this course, you do this, and then your economic advancement will happen. You will have so much money. You should not be interested in that. Prabhupada is writing. So not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic advancement, yet they should be very faithfully accept scriptural rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. Scriptural rules and regulations. The scripture says we should associate with the pure devotee, then we should associate with the pure devotee. We should chant the holy name. Okay. So these rules and regulations, the four regulative principles we should follow. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication. We should follow. Okay. So those things we should follow. So the things which is favorable for our Krishna consciousness, we should accept those things, those rules and regulations. Those rules and regulations which are not favorable for our Krishna consciousness, we should avoid. Okay, we should not delay uh, in accepting those rules and regulations which are favorable for our Krishna consciousness. We should immediately accept those principles which are very important for our Krishna consciousness. Okay, so these are the meaning of Niyamagraha. And so till now we have discussed these things. We have discussed the Atyahara, we have discussed the Prayasa, we have discussed the Prajalpa, the Niyamagra, we have discussed the Jansanga, and last one is the Lalyam. So let's see where is the Lalyam. Yeah. Okay. So yes, who is going to read? We have Manjula Mataji, Molly Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhu, I have to read from Desire to Expand.
Yeah, desire to expand.
Desire to expand the mind by perfecting mystic yoga, to merge into the existence of Brahman, or to attain whimsical material prosperity for all included within the category of greed. All attempt to acquire such material benefits or so-called spiritual advancement are impediment on the path of Krishna consciousness. Modern.
Yeah, this much only, Mataji. So the lalyam is the greed, okay? The greed of anything. It can be the greed of material things, okay? So the atyahara and all is accumulating those things, but even the greed of those things we should avoid, okay? So accumulating too much material thing, accumulating too much knowledge, accumulating too much siddhis, that is also in the categories of greed, okay? So whether um, perfect desire to perfect the mind by perfecting mystic yoga, or to merge into the existence of Brahman, or to attain whimsical material prosperity, are all within the category of greed or the lolyam. So lolyam also we should avoid. So what type of lolyam should be there? If we avoid the lolyam, then what type of lolyam? Lolyam should be there for Krishna. We should be Krishna lolyam. Okay. So Krishna Lalyam, we should have the greed for Krishna. We should be greedy for Krishna, and we should not be greedy for the materialistic thing. Okay, we should be greedy for Krishna's love. Okay. So whatever our Acharya, previous Acharya has said, that love of Krishna, we should be greedy of love of Krishna. Krishna, when we are able to taste the nectar you have, the pastime, when we read those pastimes, so much nectar is there. When we read the Bhagavatam, so much nectar is there. When we'll be able to relish those nectar? When we chant, so much nectar is there, but we are not able to relish those nectar because we are covered with so many materialistic desires, so many materialistic greed, so many things has been covered to us, and we are not able to dive into the Rasha Amrita Sindhu. Okay, so like that. So so that is there. We should take association of the pure devotees. We should read the Shastra which is written by the pure devotee. We should read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and the nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. Okay, and we should dwell into the pastimes of Krishna through the Bhagavatam. So that will help us in understanding Krishna and decreasing the materialistic desire, frustration which is called by the materialistic desire. Okay, so that thing is there. So with this, these are the 6 principles we should avoid. So so you have learned these 6 principles. Atyahara means accumulating too much money, accumulating too much degree, accumulating too much food, anything accumulating too much which doesn't help in our simple living, we should avoid. Then prayasa, excessive endeavor to accumulate those things is called prayas. Prajalpa, anything which is not related to Krishna, we are speaking those things, that is prajalpa. Niyamagraha, not following the rules and regulation or the basic principles, and following the principle just for the sake of following. Jansanga, associating with the people who are worldly minded, not Krishna conscious. And lolyam, greed, too much greed for the materialistic thing, too much greed for the merging into the Brahman, and too much greed to attain the siddhis, okay, mystic yoga. Those things are coming under the lolyam part. So this completes our 6 principles. Okay. So if you have any question, anything, you can ask.
Prabhu, I have a doubt. Can I ask?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, as Srila Prabhupada was mentioning in the purport regarding over endeavoring, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said that if anything is taking more than 6 hours, will come under Ugra Karma. So for students like who are preparing for competitive exam, it becomes compulsory to spend more time for their studies. But ultimately, that is also for offering best at the lotus feet of the lordships. So will that also come under over endeavor, Prabhu, according to this shloka?
Different people, they speak different things. Okay. So if you take Prabhupada purport, okay, And if you see what Prabhupada wanted us is we should prepare ourselves so that we can perfect ourselves and we can perfect others also. Okay. So not that we should too much, if we are working too much and becoming too much, if we are accumulating too much, that category, if you are entering those category, then it is very easy to forget Krishna. Okay. So the thing is, even if you are preparing, this phase of life is very difficult because preparation is there for the for our future so that we can settle ourselves and we can remember Krishna nicely. So if the motive is so that we can if we are preparing for some exams and we crack that exam, and then after that we'll have some degree, so that after that degree we can earn little whatever is necessary by little bit endeavor, and then we can focus most of our time in Krishna, then that is correct. Okay, correct way. And even when we are trying to cultivate or when we are preparing, then also we should not forget Krishna and cultivate these things. We should remember the primary goal is Krishna. So whether we are preparing or anything, these things are material thing only. Okay. So if we gain something also, it doesn't have any meaning. The main meaning will come when we'll have Krishna. So the main goal should be clear in our mind, whether if you're preparing and then after preparation we get something, and then we utilize our time for Krishna consciousness. Now also we should utilize our time for Krishna conscious activities also. It should not be like that if you're preparing then we stop everything Krishna conscious. This should not be there. Okay. Krishna should be there in our back mind. Okay. So that we can focus even for the for this purpose also. So if you're preparing, prepare nicely, but don't forget Krishna in these times also. So that should be there.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, Molly Mataji. Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have the doubt like Prajalpa. So normally, people are working. So we meet material. We are surrounded by material people, less, and we are surrounded less by devotees when we go for working place and all. So ultimately, we have to speak with the people with whom we are working and all. So how can we like I'm trying to mostly avoid Prajalpa by when I'm alone sitting in my own cabin and hearing something, but still it's not 100% possible for us to avoid materialistic people and avoid speaking other than Krishna consciousness.
Yes, Mataji. That is also a difficult part, that when we are working, how to, because we have to talk about the business related thing. Okay. So one simple thing you can do is when you are working, don't try to associate those things. Okay. So there are two things are there. One is association, and second thing is just you're working and coming out. One is association, and just is you're working for the business and then no strings attached. Okay. So no attachment. So you work but no attachment. So that should be there. Focus on Krishna. Business things are there. We cannot do anything, but those things which require the business activity, those things when we go to the office, that thing should finish that then and there only. Okay. And then other times we should focus on our Krishna conscious activities, focus on our sadhana, okay, focus on remembering Krishna. Other than that, when we are in the office, it should be clear to us that these things are like Prajalpa only, and we should not associate, we should not do Janasangha here. Okay. We should only do whatever is required for the business purpose, then come out and try to associate with the most of the time with your devotees. It's not, we see that many times people go to the workplaces, okay, and they forget that their goal is spiritual. So they go, they will take the tiffin in the canteen, they will eat and they will do ha ha he he chit chat everything. Okay. So that things also happen. Okay. So we should avoid those things. We should sit nicely in our, like you told, that whatever business requires that type talks we should do. Other than that, we should focus on our Krishna conscious activity.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Is any other question? See, the thing
Prabhu,
is,
one more.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Who is that? Who?
Uh,
Vaishnavi. Yes, Mataji.
yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, you were also saying when devotees meet, they speak things which are not related to Krishna. But Prabhu, like we have our mentors in our temples, like we share everything with them, and it is a kind of affection they show to us. So will that also come under like how you were explaining, Prabhu?
No, I didn't understand that. What is the meaning of affection? They show the
Like
affection.
Prabhu, you were telling, no, when devotees meet, the topic should be only Krishna consciousness. Like we
Mhm.
should not speak any other things which are not related to Krishna consciousness. But Prabhu, like we have our mentors, they help us to deal with our personal things, which will help us to improve our sadhana more and more. It's kind of affection and love which they show towards us. So will that also be considered as not Krishna conscious thing?
Okay. So the thing is, the mentor and counselor are meant to counsel us so that we become more Krishna conscious. Okay. So if it is related to that okay, some material problem is there. Okay, we are trying to solve those problems. Okay, but the main focus would be on Krishna. That if you are having a mentor, if you are having a counselor, and the mentor and counselor are taking you towards Krishna, his main goal or the counselor's main goal is to make you Krishna conscious so that you can become a pure devotee. Then discussing about the problems is okay, but the material, see, the counselor's job is not to solve your material problems. Okay, or you take the guru's job is not to solve any material problem. Okay, we go to a guru. Why? Because we want Krishna. They have Krishna, they can give us Krishna. So we go to the guru, we surrender to a guru so that they can give us Krishna. Okay. But nowadays, ISKCON has grown so much that it is very difficult for every person to get the guru's personal association. So we have the senior devotees who are pure devotees, and they become a counselor, they become a mentor. Okay, that is the system that the very senior devotees who are pure, who are practicing for many days, and they have no other intention than making you Krishna conscious. Okay, then that type of devotees you are going and you are telling your material problem so that they can tell you what the Shastra says, and how this problem can be solved. If that is the case, then that is okay. Okay, if other than that, if anything other is being spoken, then it can be any personal thing also. It can be, I cannot say on every level, but this is the general principle that a counselor or a mentor should mentor us to become Krishna conscious. So that is the thing. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. Okay. So we don't have any question now. So we'll end the session. Okay. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धु भवेच्च।
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, attendance link.
Okay. Attendance. Yeah. Just 1 second. I'll give you the attendance link. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. It's loading. Okay, let me sign somewhere, join a meeting.